wanted to make this video to talk to you guys a little bit about my journey with plastic surgery and kind of how I used to use plastic surgery as like a compensation for what I was struggling with mentally with food and diet and exercise, and you know, kind of like my excuses that I was making for myself. I have had a good amount of plastic surgery. So some of you know this about me, some of you do not. I have had probably, I want to say like 5 to 6 procedures, separately, you know, all going under anesthesia, the risks involved, the recovery, having to put my family through it, the financial burden that it puts on you. So my whole point of this is explaining to you guys what I went through and how it did not fix my underlying issue, which was that I needed to address my food addiction and my binging and purging disorder, my hate for exercise that I've actually turned around into now a love for exercise and physical activity. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I know a lot of people can relate to that. And I know a lot of people now that even will come to the office and tell me like, oh, I'm going to start your wellness program after I get lipo. And it's like, we use that as an excuse to like jumpstart our journey, but it doesn't at all. It actually maybe makes it worse because you're stuck in bed for weeks at a time. And you know, when you're bored at home and you haven't addressed your issue with food, you then find yourself binging. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is liposuction. So I've had liposuction actually 3 times. I've had all over my body. I've had my abdomen, my back, my sides done 3 times. I've had my arms done. I've had my bra fat area done, my post-axillary, which is behind the bra fat, done. I've had a lot of lipo. There are a lot of risks that are involved with lipo. You know, it's actually funny. Ryan asked me the other day while we were working out if I regret my plastic surgeries. And my answer was, yeah, I do. Because now that I'm leaner, you could see perfectly on my body, like where the cannula marks are from lipo. And I took a picture the other day for my coach, and I noticed this line down the middle of my stomach, and I was like, is that a vein? And he was like, no, I think that's scar tissue from lipo. And like, I have scar tissue in my arms, I have dimpling from the liposuction. So it's like, you know, temporarily when I was in my faja and things like that, I looked snatched. I used to say like, oh my God, you come out of lipo snatched. But long term, it's like, in my opinion, the scars and what happens to your body after is not worth it. So that's my experience with liposuction. I have had 2 breast augmentations. I had my breasts done actually when I was 18 years old, my first time, and I went as big as possible. I remember telling the doctor, like, I want to look like a porn star. I was 18. I didn't know at all what I was talking about. Little did I know that led to my skin stretching. I had displacement of my implant years later, went through a lot of complications. I went to my doctor now for my second procedure, and I was like, I have a lot of pain here. And he laid me down, and my breasts like fell underneath my armpit. And he was like, your breasts are displaced, like your implant is displaced. You need to get them out ASAP. They were like 12 years old. So I went through that surgery, had my breast implant removed, a new one put in, and I had a reduction, which is where my major scars come from, because I had so much excess skin from stretching with such a big implant, and back pain, and when I would wear my bras, I'd have indentations in my shoulders from my bra being so heavy. And I had to have all that skin removed. So now I have beautiful scars because of that, where I'm literally cut from the center of my chest to under my armpit, around my my nipple and down as well with the anchor cut. So I had 2 breast augmentations. And then about 2 years ago, I did skin removal with a tummy tuck to my abdomen. Now, of course, I said to myself, I'm going under. Let's do lipo on my arms as well. Biggest mistake. Lipo to the arms does not heal well at all. You forever have this cottage cheese looking skin from my skin, just not retracting well after the liposuction. And it's crazy because my surgeon actually said to me, I don't recommend that you do lipo. And I was like, okay, thanks for your advice. Not gonna take it. Do the lipo. Did the lipo. Fully regretted it. My tummy tuck and skin removal took about 3 weeks to heal. My first 3 or 4 days into recovery, one of my drains fell out. So I'll show you guys the scar from that, because I decided that I wanted to organize my house because I felt fine, because I don't really have pain receptors, I guess, and I was fine. While I was organizing my house, one of my drains popped out, and I have a terrible scar because of that on my left hip. So the recovery for tummy tuck with the skin removal was rough. My biggest regret about my tummy tuck and skin removal, and my surgeon said this to me even up the day before my surgery, is, are you sure you don't want to lose more weight before we do this? And I was like, no, this is what's gonna jumpstart me to want to eat better and work out and do things, better for myself. Well, I said that about the lipo I got before that, and I said that about the lipo I got before that. Oh, it's just gonna jumpstart me. It never did. And I was like, no, I want to do this. I want it to jumpstart me. And it didn't. And I totally relapsed back to my binge eating disorder. And I ended up gaining probably 40 pounds after my tummy tuck with skin removal. So now I am in a position where I should have skin removal again, and I'm not going to. I'm just gonna rock it and leave it how it is. But now that I truly have lost the weight that I want to lose, I have sagging skin because I didn't wait. So going back to Ryan's question in the garage the other day of, do I regret my plastic surgeries or do I regret not waiting? And 100% I regret not waiting. I regret using it as an excuse to try to fix my eating disorder, to try to fix my issues that I had with food, because it didn't work. And I hear so many girls say it, I used to say it, I used to get fat, I'd get lipo. I used to get fat, I'd get lipo. And so many of my friends do the same thing where they gain a little bit of weight, they get lipo. Or they say oh, I just want to lose a little bit more around my waist, I'm going to just get lipo. And it's well, why don't we just diet and exercise for 6 weeks and see what happens? Nobody wants that. Everybody wants a quick fix. Everybody wants a magic pill. And it's sad because, yeah, you'll look good temporarily, but it's only temporary. You're not fixing the issue, which is that you have an unhealthy relationship with food. So that's, my experience. I have also had a rhinoplasty. I hated my nose growing up. Oh my God, I hated it so much. It was my biggest insecurity. And I'm a big believer that if something bothers you, do something about it. We live once, and why live with an insecurity that you can fix? Which is why I got into aesthetics, because I like making a patient feel good about themselves when they're in my chair, when they have a very slight insecurity that can be corrected with filler or neurotoxin or laser for acne scars for patients that have had acne their whole life, and now they've cleared up the acne and they have these scars on their face that they're so insecure about. And it's so rewarding to me when you see the look on their face when they look in the mirror and like you've corrected something that they've hated their whole life. And it's just like, it's everything to me. It's my, I don't know how to explain the feeling. It's just such a good feeling inside. So I'm a big believer in, if something bothers you, fix it. I don't care what people say about like, oh, it's vanity, or I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. You can call it what you want, but we all have insecurities. Even the most secure person in the world cannot tell me that there's not something about themselves that they would change. We all have it. We're our worst critic. So that's why I got a nose job. And it was the only surgery that I will say was the best thing I ever did. I had a deviated septum. I had trauma. I was in an accident when I was 14 years old, in a boating accident, and I broke my nose. I was able to breathe again. It was crazy. A couple days after my surgery, I went, when he removed my packing, I went to the ER because I had burning all in my face. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I think something's wrong. And the doctor was like, that's air. That's cold air going through your sinuses. You've never felt that before. And it took me probably a year to get used to, because I had never been able to breathe through my nose.
That is
Crazy, yeah. Yeah, so my rhinoplasty is the only surgery that I will forever be like grateful for. That changed my life. So I hope that you guys were able to take something away from this video. If you are struggling with body image issues like I have in the past, my best advice for you is seek therapy. Reach out to a friend that's maybe going through something. Talk to somebody about it. I internalized so much of this, and I wish that I would have been more open about it like I am now, and I would have made better decisions about my journey with plastic surgery. So please, if you are going through this, if you are struggling with body image issues, reach out, get help. Don't be quick to book a surgery and think that that's going to be your fix, because it's not. Thank you guys so much for being part of this. Thank you for allowing me to open up. I'm going to cry. Oh my God. It's crazy. When I started this YouTube channel, Rach, I was so worried about like, who's gonna watch it? Like, is anyone gonna watch it? Like, am I gonna get negative feedback? And it's crazy, I only get positive feedback. It's so crazy how many people are going through this. And it's like, I wish I would have opened up about it sooner and been able to help people sooner. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. It's crazy how much my life has changed in such a short period. And it's such a feeling of gratitude to be able to open up about it. Sorry. Okay. I'm okay. I probably needed to do that like 3 days ago. Okay. Thank you guys for being a part of this journey with me. It's really meant a lot. So please be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if there's anything that you would like us to touch on throughout this series on this journey to my first bikini competition. So I got a call and she was like, I have hypothyroidism. And she was like, you have Hashimoto's. You're actually in crisis. I need you to take like 3 to 4 weeks off of work.